Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'll just be very brief because I really just want to commend all of you for the work that you do. I was so proud a little earlier when I was in here doing public comment, and then when our witnesses spoke as well of the success stories. And those success stories would not have been possible without love. And I think love serves as the foundation of the reason why we've had so many young adults that are current students and those that are alum that spoke here today. And so I thank you for your time, your commitment, your efforts, your sacrifice to make sure that young folks in the city have opportunities and have a thriving or chance to thrive. Jack, so I really just had one question because most folks that know me know I'm from Virginia, and so I was not familiar with alternative school networks for quite a while, even after I moved here. So if I could ask, how long has the network of schools been in existence?
We just had our 50th anniversary,
Okay.
and I joked and I said I'm only 58, so I started when I was 8 years old. We've worked at it since 1973 and helped get resources, sharing and partnering, and learning from each other, and then working on policy and legislation so the right stuff happens and supports the kids.
So, and I just want you to know that you have an ally with me, and anything you need, please let me know, because I think, having a strong education helps to build that strong foundation that you're later going to have to look on and stand on in your future. So if I could just say one thing very quickly as far as the alternative school network, nothing negative, because I think you guys are doing a great job. When I was a young, and I'll briefly tell a story before I get to the point, and it'll be very brief. When I was young, 18, 17, I always had heard that the Marines only accepted those that were being sent there by the judge, and you had to be uneducated to join the Marine Corps. That was common. In fact, judges did send you to the Marine Corps if you got in trouble. But once I joined, and I scored very high on the ASVAB test, but I wanted to join the Marines. But once I joined, I can tell you I'm 58 years old today, and I'm very proud to have served 10 years in the Marines. And every Marine I know are proud of their service in the Marine Corps, no matter what the reputation was. I often talk about Virginia, and I'm just giving a couple examples. And I brag about our motto. It's the only motto that's cool. Virginia's for lovers. That's our motto. I say those couple things because when I became alderman, I knew that economic development had to stand at the forefront of a thriving community. But what never transitioned in my mind until a little later is that community development is just equally important. And community development is essentially a person becoming very proud of where they live. You hear a lot of negative things about Austin, about Inglewood, and some of our communities that have challenges at times. But my goal was to not only to help produce a board that could be economically development, but where one could be developed in the community as well, where we change folks' mind about being proud to be an Austinite, to change their mind about how proud they are to live. And the same thing about alternative schools. And that's why I gave those three examples, because when I first learned of what an alternative school was, it was a negative thing that was said about it. And so we're having students come into an environment to say, hey, what school are you from? Well, I'm from an alternative school. You're from an alternative school. And if there's one thing I could change, I would love to change, is to take that word away. And let's call it something to where they could be proud of where they go to school, because they are already faced with challenges. They're already dealing with peer pressure to say, you go to an alternative school, or you go to this kind of school, you go to that kind of school. Let's build them up from the very beginning to help them have the education to where they could thrive while being there. And somewhere where they could say, you know what, I'm proud to go to this school. I'm proud to go to that school. So if I could change one thing, and it wouldn't be the heart and the commitment of all the folks here, it would be that let's start giving these students that are thriving and that are doing well. I don't want to take that away from them, but let's give them a better foundation to build on and say, we're proud to be where we are.
Yeah.
And we're going to make the best of where we are. And I think you'll start having a lot more success stories.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.